Hey guys, it's David Mossad here, coming back to you with another video. Today's video we will be talking about and addressing the topic of whether it is possible to become a millionaire without having to endure the endless amounts of stress and risk, because believe it or not, most people aren't capable or even willing to take on that tremendous amount of stress and pressure and anxiety that it generally takes to become wealthy with the more known ways, such as building a business, investing in real estate, trading on the stock market, etc., right? But back to the topic of whether it's possible not to become a millionaire with a less risky, more stress-free type of way. And the answer is yes, it absolutely is. End of video. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys in the next one. Not joking. What do you guys take me for? Of course, I'll explain to you guys how you guys could do it. So, the method that most people can become a millionaire within the long term is with investments, long-term investing, and more specifically, index fund investing. Now, firstly, what is an index fund? Very simply, an index fund is a fund that measures / tracks the performance of a group of public companies as a whole, those group of public companies, their performance as a whole, or even maybe an industry as a whole, but generally a bunch of public companies, and tracks their entire performance. So for instance, in the US, the S&P 500, which is the most popular index fund, tracks the Fortune 500 companies, which are the 500 largest companies in the US, tracks their total performance. And so too you get the Dow Jones, which tracks the 30 largest companies in the US, just as you get the FSTE Top 40 Index, which is a South African index fund, which tracks the performance of the top 40 biggest companies in South Africa, and so on. So index funds is one of the most effective and least risky type of investments that there is. Now notice that I say least risky and not necessarily risk-free, because let's face it, anyone who tells you that there's a way to become wealthy or grow wealth or just do well financially in general, risk-free, is either completely delusional or is selling you a scam. That's the hard truth, guys. Sorry. If there was a method, trust me, I would let you guys know. Or if you do find a total risk-free method on how to build wealth, please do let me know, because trust me, I'm still looking for one. But with that being said, index fund investing is still very, very powerful and not close to as risky as most of the type of investment vehicles, investment methods, investment strategies out there. Because as I was explaining to a friend today, where index fund investing differs from something like investing in the stock market is, instead of investing in an individual public company where nobody knows what's going to happen to that company tomorrow, whether you're investing into Bob and Jill's on the corner or you're investing into Apple, no one knows what's going to happen. Most likely, Apple's still going to be there tomorrow. It's a higher chance than Bob and Jill's bakery, but no one knows. That's just the fact of life, right? Anything can happen. However, if you invest in the S&P 500, in which Apple is obviously included in that because it's one of the Fortune 500 companies, now you're investing in the total performance of 500 companies, almost the whole entire industry per se. Obviously, it's not an industry because all the companies in the S&P 500 are all different types of industries, but you're investing in a large group of companies. And history has shown us, and it should be obvious to you, that their performance as a whole will, over time, just keep increasing in value, right? And that's the aim of investing, to buy something today for hope of selling it at a later date with an increased value, basically, right? So that is why index fund investing is so much less risky, because it invests in a whole various different companies. With that being said, because it is less risky, it also means that you won't get any like crazy, unimaginable, double your money in 2 years types of returns. No, the general rule for index fund investing is that you can get anything from 7 to 12% annually. That's the general rule. Now, it doesn't sound like much, but remember what I said at the start? You can become a millionaire if you do it over the long term. And that's the catch, because 7 to 12% is nothing for next year, but it is a huge amount in 20, 40 years time. But enough of the endless talk. Let me just show you the numbers. I'm going to show you three index funds performances over the past 10 years. Now do remember that 10 years in the grand scheme of things in the investment world isn't actually really such a long time, but you will start realizing pretty decent growth in 10 years time. So I'm going to just make it easy and simple for us all to understand by using a 10-year time frame instead of 20, 30, 40, 50 years, which is the advisable long-term investment time frame. So without further ado, the three index funds that I'm going to show you guys are the S&P 500. Sorry, I always do that, guys. The S&P 500, the Dow Jones, and for the South Africans out there, which is probably most of you watching the video, I'm going to do the top 40, the FSTE, remember, which is what I said tracks the 40 largest companies in South Africa. So join me now to my laptop where I'll be sharing my screen so that I can show you the growth and also then calculate what each one, if you had invested a certain amount, would have grown to in the past 10 years. So come join me. And so as you can see here, this is the S&P 500. See, S&P 500 index with the SPX, that's the code on the NASDAQ. And here, as we can see, January the 4th of 2010, all the way where we are up to present day, the value has increased by roughly 220%. Now that 220% compounded annually is 18%, which is already a good return, right? I mean, 18%, most people dream for those kind of returns in the markets. Now, this isn't like what the general accepted annual increase has been for S&P 500. It's just been like this for the past 10 years because the bull market in the past 10 years has been really good. Similar with the Dow Jones, Dow Jones 30. Sorry about that, guys. As you can see, once again, 2010 all the way up to where we are now, 174. So 174 compounded annually is 14.5%. Not quite 18, but 14.5 is also very, very decent. Now, those of you South Africans who are familiar with investing and trading and all that, you'll know investing.com definitely. So, okay, so this isn't 10 years, this is 20 years. So let us go back to the 10-year mark, which I think was there. Where is 2010? It's over here, roughly. So the last 10 years for the JSE hasn't been anything like crazy, but I mean still 108%, which is gonna compound to literally 10% per annum, 10.8%, which that also is very good. But now remember, this is the past 10 years, and this is me just showing you an example, and more accurately just showing you guys like a little bit about what an index fund is and look like. So let's now go to the calculations of how you can become a millionaire by investing in the long term. So as you can see, I have a calculator. Now, this is in worst case scenario. Like as you can see, time to grow, I put it 60 years, right? Now, there is no index fund today that is a safe, well-returning index fund that has performed only 10%. Like most of them are 15, even 20% annually over such a long period of time. But we are going to say the absolute worst case scenario, which is accepted, of 10% annually. Now I know 60 years is a lot, but I want to show you guys what is possible with this investing and compound interest. So your initial investment is $1,000, right? Your monthly contribution for 60 years is $100. Now that is nothing. Look at the earning potential in 60 years. You'd have had 1.5 million in return. Now I'm going to scroll down. That is a real net. So that means net after inflation. The nominal, so that we can understand the true value, would be $4.9 million. But this real net of inflation dollars, this takes into consideration inflation. So this is after inflation. This is how much you would have in 60 years by just contributing $100 a month with a start of $1,000 for 60 years in an asset that returns 10%. Crazy, right? Now, the powerful thing with this whole compound interest and the dollar cost averaging effect, which that is a strategy where you rely on small monthly deposits, which you do throughout your investment life, into a portfolio, and you slowly make use of compound interest. Look how it goes. At the first couple of years, there's no real growth. Like, look, there's barely any growth over here. But then as the years go on, it exponentially grows, like literally exponentially. And you'll see the similar pattern with many of the wealthy people who got very wealthy through investing. They only got very exponentially wealthy towards the end of their investment. Not towards the end of their investment career, I mean towards their later stages in life. Like Warren Buffett only became exceptionally wealthy after the age of like 55. Because that is the power of the compounding effect. Now, yes, I know once again 60 years is nothing crazy, but yeah, I'll explain that. So return with me now to me beautiful face. But with that being said, as you can see, in general, index fund investing is one of the most reliable, trustworthy, and safest ways of, I wouldn't say guaranteeing, but ensuring that you have a chance of becoming a millionaire. And it has really, really made tons of people millionaires. Like, I cannot, these are how many people have become millionaires from just index fund investing. It's insanity. So yeah, and sure, it might not be glorious. It might not be that Instagram, get rich quick, or that YouTube video which tells you how to make $1 million in 2 days, or all that crap. But it is one way. And like I said in the beginning of the video, most people don't have maybe not even the will, let alone the courage or the capacity to go through the pain and struggle of trying to build a business and hoping to become wealthy from that, with a huge chance of failure, because most businesses end up failing. So that's just the raw truth. So yeah, index fund investing, trust me, it is worth it, and it is a good investment and can make you a millionaire. So that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you would like to get more information on index fund investing, or just wealth management in general, or financial planning, or any of those sorts of things, you can comment down below or reach me at my social medias. Links will be in the description. Once again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Share this video to anyone you could think could benefit from this. And without further ado, see you guys in the next one. Peace out, legends. Bye-bye.
Looking back, I'ma keep myself on track, keep my head up, staying strong, always moving on. Feel I don't belong, tell my thoughts to move along, push myself to be the best, die with no regrets, live with every breath, see my message start to spread, and I had so many